Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony, Rockers Living the Yellow Submarine. Today, I will be ranking a George Harrison song. This song is it's a Christmas or in a New Year's. It's basically related to that subject matter too. So, Ding Dong is a song recorded by George Harrison, written as a New Year's Eve sing along song, released in December 1974 on his album or on his fifth album, Dark Horse, and this was the hit single in the Britain and some other European countries, and the second single was After Dark Horse. In North America, a large-scale production of the song incorporates aspects of Phil Spector's Waltz sound technique, Paul McCartney's favorite. I'm just kidding. Paul McCartney hates that musician, and this was basically George Harrison's attempt to be more of a Christmas, New Year's Eve song. So, and also, George Harrison took the lyrics to Ding Dong from engravings he found at his 19th century home, Friar Park in Oxfordshire, a legacy of his accelerated founder, Frank Crisp. The songs Ring Out the Old, Ring in the New refrain has invited interpretations as Harrison's descending himself from his past as a member of the Beatles and as a singer farewell his first marriage to Pattie Boyd. Boyd, I think I pronounced her last name. As much as on the Dark Horse album, I do not have that record, by the way, Dark Horse record, but I do not have the record. I'm not gonna get that record later on in my life. I'm not gonna get it later on. I don't know. But George Harrison's vocals on the recording were hampered by the throat condition due partly to his having overextended himself on business projects, such as his recently launched his record label Dark Horse Records. And the track includes musical contributes from Todd Scott, Ringo Starr, Evan Lee, Ron Wood, and Jim Kether. And when this song was first released, it was destroyed by many music critics, while others consider it as musical and lyrical simplistic to be a positive factor for a contemporary pop hit for the first time with one of his first singles. Harrison made a promotional video for Ding Dong, which features scenes of him mining for the track at Friar Park while dressed in a variety of Beatle-themed costumes. The song still receives occasionally airplay over the holiday season, which is insane, right? The video appears on a DVD in Harrison's 8 disc Apple years 1968 through 1975 box set, released in September 2014. So this song was released on December 6, 1974 in the UK, and this was released in 2 days before Christmas Day, December 23rd, 1974. And this song, let me tell you, well, there is a background to this. I will say George, there's a lot of information because this is inspiration behind the song Ding Dong Ding Dong in 1974, where George Harrison quote, "I was just sitting by the fire playing the guitar and I looked up on the wall and there it was carved into the wall in oak. I thought, God, it took me 4 years of looking at that before I realized it was a song. Friar Park has got all of these great things written all over the place." That's basically what he got the information from it too. I'm not joking. And yeah, I will say this. This song, it's not my favorite Christmas song or not my favorite George Harrison song to date. George Harrison's vocals, in my opinion, got a little annoying after All Things Must Pass album. I mean, I'm not a big fan. First of all, don't kill me, George Harrison fans. I'm not a big fan of his style, and I'm not a big fan of his solo career at all. Nor will never be, because I'm not a big fan of his style at all. I will say he is an important member of the Beatles. I will say he's talented. He's a talented guitarist or lead guitarist. Even he's a talented vocalist of the Beatles. I prefer his vocalist in the Beatles era, along with John Lennon, far more than their solo careers. Because after their voice sounded different, and not only that, sounded a little annoying for me, in my opinion. I mean, for John Lennon, I love his first album, his debut album, as his solo musician, and Imagine album. I love those albums. But for George Henson, I love the All Things Must Pass album. I really love that album. Although it took me a long time to know how all the songs go, especially because I'm not a big fan of his style at all. But I understand why this album was so popular. I really love that album too, and it's a big influential at the time and later on in the later generations. But when this song came out, let me tell you. Let me just jump into. I will say this. That the music critics, they're not wrong about this. I will say this. I actually agree with the music critics saying that they were not impressed with the Ding Dong song. Its release came in the wake of unfavorable reviews of the North American tour. In keeping with the song's message, Harrison refused to celebrate the past in his concerts by pandering to nostalgia for the Beatles. And many in the mainstream music press criticized the poor state of his voice and his decision to feature Ravi Shankar so heavily in the program. Well, I mean, I have nothing wrong about his decision of featuring him in it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of him. I know you probably out there must have hated him. I mean, I need to know more about him. I mean, I may well hate him later on. But I'm not trying to be like all the other people that are trying to disagree with him. But I will say this. I actually agree his voice is really obnoxious in this song. And like I said, I prefer him over his vocalist in the Beatles, not in his solo career, in my opinion. And this song, I mean, the lyrics is way too simplistic for me. Way too simplistic. This song is way more simplistic than the Doors' music, in my opinion. I know you can be like, but Anthony, their musics are good. I know they're simplistic, but they're good. I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're liking the Doors. I'm fine with you liking the Doors, but I will say this: the Doors are not my favorite band in the whole world. I will tell you that. The Doors are not my favorite band in the whole world because it took me a long time to get into their albums too. It took me a long time, more than the Beatles, because the Beatles I love most of their albums right away actually. But the lyrics, I'm going to read the lyrics of the song. So this is basically like a New Year's special video. So the lyrics, it starts off with him singing, "Ring out the old, ring in the new, ring out the old, ring in the new again." Like, see, yeah, this is another thing I really can't stand is his songwriting. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of George Harrison's solo musician, not as crazy as the other Beatle members, because I am a big fan of Ringo's. Not the biggest fan of his albums. I am a somewhat big fan. I am a fan of his albums. I am familiar with the hit songs from Ringo Starr. And of course, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison too. But, well, I mean, George Harrison, I don't know too much about his hit singles. So don't kill me, fans out there. Let's be nice in the comments down below. But basically, the song just keeps saying "ring out the something." Basically, the song just, I don't know. His songwriting in this song is really cheesy, in my opinion. The songwriting is a little lazy, in my opinion. It just keeps saying "ring out the something," ring in the something. Like it keeps saying it throughout the whole song. It really, that's cheap. That's cheap, in my opinion. I know that's what the song is trying to. I guess I understand the song is trying to say "ding dong." I know that's the point of what the title is trying to say. But the second verse is where it says "ring out the false, ring in the true." This is another thing I can't stand about the song is his vocals is really obnoxious. His voice is "ring in the true." Like his vocals, I understand he got sick at the time, but you should have just recorded at when you feel a lot better. Because when you record it while you're sick, then that's just gonna make a lot of people want to hate on your vocals on this song. That goes to show you can't always want to sing the. That goes to show you that you can't always sing. You can't always sing when you're sick. Well, you can't always, like, if you have like a horrible vocalist and you don't want, if you're scared of people are gonna hate on your vocals on this song, then don't do it. It's simple. But it just keeps saying "ring out the old, ring in the new." It keeps saying that throughout the whole song, except except for the chorus. It says "ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong." I'm not joking. That's the chorus. That's the chorus. I'm not even joking. I mean, I do like the bell sounds. I like how it's like the New Year's sounds. But seriously, that songwriting right there is possibly, in my opinion, but there is a different verse. There is a different lines. Yesterday, today was tomorrow, and tomorrow, today will be yesterday. It's clever. I could have wrote that. Well, I mean, I can't really say I could have wrote better. But throughout the whole song, like the songwriting is so cheesy and so cheap. It keeps throughout the whole song. It keeps saying "ring out the old, ring in the new." It keeps saying that throughout the whole song. It really annoys me so much. I mean, it's definitely like a kid song. I mean, if this was intended as a kid song, I would understand it. I mean, this is possibly I would prefer it altogether now way more than this song. But this song is so like cheap with its songwriting. I believe George Harrison wrote this songwriting. I believe, yeah, he wrote this song, and I will give Ringo Starr props that he did play the drums in this song. Klaus Vorman also played the bass in this song too. I did like the bass, but this song I did not like this song. But if you had to give my rating, what should I rank it? I would rank it a 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. This is possibly my least favorite or possibly the weakest song I've ever heard from George Harrison. I'm not trying to fully criticize him as a musician, but seriously, he needs to have a better improvement of his songwriting. I mean, he must have had some improvement of his songwriting in the All Things Must Pass album, but that's the thing. That's a rare thing to hear from a song. Paul McCartney had a little better songwriting than George Harrison did. Even Ringo Starr had better songwriting. I'm not trying to compare other Beatles to him, but seriously, it's true. Some musicians had. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate on George Harrison, this fellow Beatle, but this song is such the weakest song I've ever heard. This is possibly my worst. Well, you know what? Part of me want to say it's the worst song I've ever heard from George Harrison. You know what? I will just go ahead and say this. This is the worst song I've ever heard from George Harrison because the songwriting is bad. The vocals on it is bad. Basically, all it is to know about the song. I mean, this is just my opinion, so I know you're gonna kill me in the comments below. Do not kill me in the comments down below. But this is a song that we all need to talk about too. But if he had, I will say this: if George Harrison had a better vocalist, if he was feeling a lot better during to his health, I would actually like the song a little more. But he had to record it during. I don't know. I mean, this song was an attempt to emulate the success of two glam rock anthems from the 1973 through 1974 holiday season, "Merry Christmas to Everybody" by Slade, and Wizards' "I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day," which those are the big hits, only a minor hit in Britain and the United States, although it was a top 20 hit elsewhere in the world, which is cool. But that's the thing, his vocals is really obnoxious in my opinion. It's far worse than what I heard before. And that's the thing, because his vocals rely so much on the hampering by his throat condition. I understand that he overextended himself on business projects such as recently launched on the Dark House Records, but man, that vocalist is bad. It's like, wow, I don't know. I don't know fully about the story about the making of this album, but I will say this: the music video is actually far better than listening to the song on the record. The music video is humorous. I will say it's humorous. It is pretty funny for some parts. I guess it's more humorous because it starts off with George Harrison walking outside. It has the merches in the table, which is actually pretty cool, especially showing how much improvement, or not improvement, but how important his fans were, because his fans loved him from the Beatles too. Oh, excuse me. And it gets to, of course, the song. Of course, it shows up George Harrison playing a guitar, and that's. And I love how in the next scene where George Harrison dressed up as the Beatles clothes and the hair. It's funny as crap. I will say it's pretty funny. And in the next part, I can't unseen this. I'm not gonna lie, George Harrison actually undressed himself. I mean, it didn't show full nudity or nothing like that, but he hid his stuff with the guitar. I am glad he did that. He actually undressed himself. I love his boots that he was wearing. I'm not even joking. Watch the music video if you think I'm lying. It actually shows that. And I love how he was dressing up in the next scene where he was dressing up as the Sgt. Pepper, which was that right there, the shirt I was wearing. And I love how he was wearing that clothes, and with this crazy mask that he was wearing. That's basically all you need to know about the song. The song is very different. I mean, not different than his older stuff, but it's very insane and very chaotic. Well, not chaotic, but the music video is very crazy because of the way that just the way they directed the music video is very crazy because the way they dressed up as that mask as their face, especially that ending part, is pretty good and touching too. But except for that, and the ending is very crazy. So that's all I'm gonna say about the song. Let me know in the comments down below if you loved. If you love, like, I just want to ask in the comments down below. I should have said this at the beginning of the video. I listened to the song. Well, I didn't listen to the song, but I watched the music video first, and I listened to the song. And the song is bad, but the music video is pretty good, I will say. But I prefer Ringo Starr's album, I Want to Be Santa Claus album, far more than this song. And I prefer Happy Christmas Words over this song. And I don't know if I should. I don't know. I will say this. I do not prefer Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time over. Well, you know what? If you're talking about songwriting, I will say that Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, I would prefer that a little more than this song because if you're talking about songwriting, I agree. But if you're talking about the music's in it, I disagree because I will go with the Dark Horse, although it does have it includes a guitar as always from George Harrison, especially he's from the Beatles, stuff like that. But otherwise, let me know in the comments down below. Did you love the song? Did you like it? Or did you hate the song? For me, I will say this. I will say I actually hate this song. There's not really good something from the song except for the vocals is kind of painful. Not kind of, but the song in my opinion is painful to listen to. Especially his vocals is really annoying, and his vocals is all you hear is like a sickness. It sounds like he was sick at the time he was recording this song. All you hear is the cheese. Like all you hear is that chorus, and then he sings so he should have just recorded that song while he was feeling better. I understand he was recording this song along with the recording of Dark Horse, but he should have just took like breaks in between them, or at least take like a month off, something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too. Maybe I just criticize him a little too much. But that goes to show you, not all musicians have to be perfect the way they are. You have to have your least favorite. You can't always love everything they put out. You can't always be like all the other people that loves everything about them. You can't love them. You have to have a good reason why. Because even myself, I do not love everything what George Harrison does. I will say he's a great singer and a great lead guitarist in the Beatles. But I do love the All Days Must Pass, but I'm not a big fan of his style and his albums as a solo musician. But let me know in the comments down below how wrong am I in the comments down below. I'm not sorry for what I said about George Harrison because this is just my opinion. I know you have a different opinion than mine. And thank you guys and girls so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family. Share this video with your friends and family if they are George Harrison fans or even the Beatles fans. Heck yeah. And my social media are in the description. And my next video is going to be ranking System of a Down's album covers to my least favorite to favorites album covers. Not worst to best. There's no bad, in my opinion, there's no bad System of a Down album covers. And that's it all I have to say. And my website and sign the petition to sign up for that thing that YouTube's going through. A big crazy times right there with Copa. So sign the petition in the description, please. This is you have to sign the petition in order to save YouTube. This is the only last chance so far we know. Well, not only the last chance, but there's also an option to message the federal. Well, I've talked about it before, so I'm not gonna address it in this video. So my social media are in the description. I will see you in the next video. Change the world, peace and love, and also rock on.